Good morning. It is time for just a word from the Word. Happy Thursday. Our passage this morning comes from Hebrews 12, verse 2, and I'm reading from the English Standard Version. Looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. I've heard it preached, I'm sure you have too, from the phrase, who for the joy that was set before him. Have you stopped to think about what some call Maundy Thursday? The night where Jesus' disciples had prepared Passover and they ate and celebrated, and Jesus instituted what you and I call Holy Communion, or some would say the Eucharist, where we take his body, symbolized by bread, and we eat it. And then we take wine or grape juice, depending on how you do that, and drink that to recognize the blood that Jesus shed. And you read in the gospel accounts that they sang a hymn and then they went out really to go pray. Well, Jesus takes his three main dudes, Peter, James, and John, and they go to a place called Gethsemane. It was an olive press where Jesus prayed, and he said his disciples, Peter, James, and John, asked them to pray, and he goes and he prays. He prays 3 times. And I fear sometimes we know the story all too well that we just go, oh yeah, those are the events. But Jesus prays, and for an hour at least, within that hour his disciples fall asleep on him 3 times. But Jesus prays in deep agony because he knows what is about to come. But did you just catch that? He prayed in deep agony. And yet the writer of Hebrews said, who for the joy that was set before him. Have you ever been able to reconcile that? Perhaps you've heard it preached. Perhaps you've heard it taught. Maybe even you yourself have preached or taught it. But who for the joy that was set before him. Jesus, the 3rd time, awakes his disciples and says, get up, it's time. And then lo and behold, a band of Roman soldiers come, being led by Judas. Now you remember Judas' key to them, his hint to them, that the one that they were to arrest would be the one that he would kiss. So they get to the garden and Judas kisses Jesus on the cheek. And Jesus' response to Judas was, you're betraying me with a kiss? And we'll talk about the rest of the events tomorrow, but it's that betrayal, what a lot of people tend to call the kiss of death, that people tend to focus on. Judas' betrayal, how horrible Judas was. And yet, when Jesus addressed Judas, he called him friend. I've never been able to get over that. Friend, you betray me with a kiss? What has been dubbed as the kiss of death or the kiss of betrayal, I believe, is the kiss of destiny. If it wasn't for Judas' kiss, Jesus never would have been arrested. If it wasn't for Judas' kiss, Jesus would have never, ever suffered stripes upon his back or had been sent to the cross. If it wasn't for Judas' kiss, we wouldn't have the story just as it is with Jesus raising from the dead on the 3rd day. Now I know you're going, Jan, it would have happened one way or the other. I get that. But it was darted by a kiss. Today's just a word from the Word. Jesus took that kiss and said it was joy because he knew the outcome of that kiss. And so today's just a word from the Word for you. I feel like there's somebody out there that has been betrayed. You've been hurt. And you've been hurt so badly that you did not know whether or not you would survive. God's word from the Word for you today is that your betrayal was not for your death. It was the gift of betrayal for your destiny. Embrace the betrayal. That doesn't mean you have to like it. It means that you have to recognize what God is doing and will do through the betrayal. It's a gift. Embrace that gift today, recognizing the same gift that Jesus embraced, that took him to the cross, that gives us salvation, that gives us hope, that gives us freedom, that gives us healing and gives us deliverance. Embrace that same betrayal and see what God will do with the gift. I've prayed for you today that you would be delivered. I've prayed for you today that you would be whole. I've prayed today that you would receive that gift of betrayal and that you would embrace it for what God intends it to be. This has been just a word from the Word. God bless you. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.